Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It is Sunday, September 11th. I cannot believe it is September 11th. Every year as this date approaches, it feels a little bit different in its significance. You know, early on it was still that trauma. And now I can't even believe it's been more than 2 decades since that tragic event for this country. So let's just take a minute collectively, just a moment of silence, if you will, just to kind of clear our heads and be grateful for what we do have, because so much was lost that day. Okay, so, you know, it's hard to shift from September 11th to answering financial questions, but I'm going to do it, okay? So this is the program that takes the mystery out of your financial life, and we do answer your questions. And in order to pose a question to us, just go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and let us know if you would be willing to come on the air. That is what Gabriel did. Gabriel is on the line from D.C.
Hi, Jill. Thanks for having me on.
Sure.
So I am turning 30 this year, and I'm switching careers after teaching for 7 years, and I'm starting law school in the fall.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been married within the past year, and I am planning to start a family in about another year.
Okay.
And I know I should be getting life insurance.
You sure? Wait a second. Let's go back for a second.
Sure.
You know you should be getting life insurance because why? Because if something were to happen to you, your wife wouldn't be able to pay the bills? Or tell me the situation. Is she working?
She's working. She's also a teacher. Actually, in D.C., we get paid pretty well, especially if you're high performing. So she makes about $120,000 a year.
Awesome.
And so, I mean, my question is really, I know we're going to start a family. I'm taking on some debt, and I don't want to leave her in a lurch if something happens.
Okay, makes sense. That makes sense to me. So talk to me about law school. When you say taking on some debt, how much are you taking on?
Yeah, so over the 3 years, it's going to be about $175,000 in loans. If everything works out, I plan to be a public service lawyer. And as long as the public service loan forgiveness plan works, the law school I'm at is going to help pay my loan payments each month, that after 10 years, most of that debt should just be forgiven. So that's the goal and the hope. Right. But obviously, we've got to see how that works out. All right,
but that makes sense to me. All right, so right now, through your wife's employment in the school system, is she entitled or have a certain baseline of coverage for herself in terms of life insurance?
She does. She has something like salary plus something.
Okay. And she does not purchase anything beyond that. In other words,
no.
She doesn't. There, some employers say, if you would like to, you can buy 5 times your salary, but she doesn't do that.
We don't have that. And honestly, even though I had the same options, it's not something that I purchased up to this point because I didn't have any dependents or necessary beneficiaries.
Yep.
So I think there are potentially some higher options of what she currently has, but I'm not sure what those are.
All right. So I think getting some insurance right now makes a ton of sense for you. You probably will end up getting a better deal because you're young and you're healthy. And if you're both young and healthy, there's kind of no reason not to do it right now. You're going to have needs. Like you said, you're going to have kids. So if you get $1 million today, even if that's slightly more than you need, you'll be happy and it's cheap. You might as well do it. You can also see through your wife, sometimes unions have separate deals with insurance companies, although, they're not always the best deal. Don't let anyone sell you anything more than a 30-year term life insurance policy. If you each bought $1 million of coverage right now and you have a few kids and you got some debt and you buy a house, all those things, you'd be pretty much covered. So I would get it now. I wouldn't wait because, frankly, it's cheap. And, unfortunately, bad things can happen at any time, even though it's highly unlikely that you will ever need this policy. So that's easy to do. Just have your own. It's easy. It's yours.
Cool.
Make sense?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, thanks again for listening. And please, if you have a minute, just maybe have a good thought about all the people who helped us recover from September 11th, those folks in the armed forces, the workers who were there on the ground, and be appreciative for what we have. And maybe it is time today, especially, to try to lift someone up. Thank you so much for listening. Grit, Growth, Grace. We'll talk to you tomorrow.